Hey, what's up, Rashad, Antonio? We are the Upon Further Review podcast, talking about the Penguin, episode number 7, the penultimate, my favorite word. And that episode was titled Top Hat. All spoilers. Tony,
Yeah.
just
Can
talk.
we?
Just
Okay.
talk.
Me and Rashad said this episodes ago, and we're going to go ahead and keep on saying it. I'm pretty sure after this. The penguin is not a nice person. He's a trash human being, and he's been a trash human being and not a nice person since he was a kid. Since he was a kid, this is something that is ingrained in his DNA. And I love the fact that they are not trying to make him a redeemable person at all. He is, I mean, I guess you can say Sophia is somewhat redeemable, eh? But the penguin
Yeah.
completely is not. So this episode starts off with a good old fashioned flashback. And we see young Oz with his older brother and his younger brother. And I'm going to say a few things about Oz. Oz comes off as your stereotypical middle child.
Yeah.
I also believe Oz has a slight Oedipus complex when it comes with his mother.
2.
And Oz knows nothing of remorse when it comes to anything except his mother. So this episode starts off with the flashback where Oz is just by himself. And he's like supposed to be chilling, I think watching TV or something. His mom is looking at the bills. Single parent, she's struggling. And you can always tell in the movie that single parent, that single mother struggle tossing the bills. He's like, hey Ma, first of all, shout out to the kid that played young Oz. My man accent, that New York Jersey-ish, New York upper, whatever you call
Yeah,
it.
that like Jersey Italian. Yeah.
Man, it was kid was awesome. He says, hey Ma. And she's like, not now, Oz. Ma, hey, let's stop what you're doing. Let's go to a movie. And she's like, man, we'll watch a movie later. He's like, come on, blah, 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 blah. He's like getting the love from me. Like, it'll be a date. And she says, a date? You're going to take me on a date? He's like, yeah, Mom, we're going to go on a date. He's so excited. She's like, I love you. You my handsome, strong boy. It's going to be all right. Blah, 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 blah. We'll do it later. He's all happy and smiling. Then his older brother and little brother come in and they start getting some attention from his mom because they come in like playing a game, like the older brother's a zombie, little kid's running the mom. She seems frustrated at first. Stop, stop, stop. But then she starts to play with them. You saw Oz's whole demeanor change. Like, how dare you come and take my time away from my mother? Like
Yeah.
my nigga, they're your brothers. That's their mama too, yo. He is a straight up like mama's boy. Like I said, that's why I feel like he has somewhat of an Oedipus complex with his mother. You know, they haven't shown nothing. Well, they've shown something semi-sexual,
I'm
but
just
the
saying, man. He
the
was
last
spooning. He
episode,
was spooning his mom, yo.
right?
Like,
Yeah, the last episode when he like spooned his mother and stuff, he was like, "What's going on?" By the way, y'all, I want to apologize for my voice. I am not sick. Allergies ever since I've gotten back from homecoming in that game have completely kicked my tail. Hopefully by next week, my voice will be back to normal. But yeah, like he is like pissed that his brothers are getting some affection. And I mean, that's the way it's gonna be, man. When you got multiple kids, you gotta spread the love to all the kids. A lot of parents, I'm not a parent, you're a parent, Rashad. I think I've heard some parents say, I don't want to say I have a favorite, but there's maybe a kid that I connect with more than the other ones. And I guess you can say the mom connects more with Oz, but it seems like that's because he's trying to be her husband, or saying, or the man in the house more than anything.
yeah, yeah.
So she tells him, hey, tells the boys, hey, get out the house, go play and stuff. Oz is like, no, I'm gonna stay here with you, Ma. And she's like, Oz, like, hey, it'll be good for your leg, strengthen your leg up. Get out of here, go with your brother. And told the older brother, hey, watch out for your younger brothers. And he's like, Oz is like, well, all right. And they're walking down the street.
Hey, yo, and don't forget his mom told him to take the books to the gangster dude. That that
Right,
that, that the one that he idolized anyway. I forgot the dude's
right.
name. Was it
Uh,
Rex?
yeah. So they're walking down the street, and then they see the gold, like, what was a
Cadillac.
Cadillac looking
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
By the way, I also want to say in this universe, the penguin is basically our age, Rashad, because it seems like it's like 1989, 88.
Oh yeah,
Because,
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
so they
definitely yeah. He's
he's
like
like our age,
40. Let's say he's like 45,
40,
50.
45. Yeah. So they're walking and they finally see the goat. And of course, Rashad pointed this out early on. What's the first thing Oz noticed? Yo, look at them rims. They spinning, nigga. They
They
spinning.
spinning.
They spinning. They spinning. And like he was enamored by the rims and stuff. And he's like, oh man. And even the little brother was like, hey, do you think that's real gold? And then the older brother's like, nah, it's just gold plated, gold painted. And Oz looks at the older brother like, yo, shut up. And so then Oz notices the gangster at first. Now, can I say something real quick, Rashawn?
Yeah.
Is it me or for Oz to hype up this guy who was the gangster of this neighborhood so much? This dude was kind of busted.
Like, look, I like you gotta like for me, the flashback really like it really told a lot. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the one thing it told me was that his whole gangster persona, even though he already told us, and Carmine, son Carmine made fun of him for it.
Yeah,
I mean Falcone, I'm sorry. Well,
yeah,
made fun of him for it. Like he really wanted to be like a gangster of amongst the people. Like he didn't want to be like so high, and even like how the Falcones lived out in the country in their
right,
little
right.
house in their little compound. Like he wanted to be loved by the people, amongst the people, and that's what this gangster was. He was in the neighborhood,
You know what?
the messing like beating people up in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what he was? He was your friendly neighborhood gangster. Just like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He was a
Yeah.
ground level gangster or whatever. So, you know, Oz's older brother Nick says, hey, shut up. Y'all wait right here. He goes and talks to Rex. Rex is talking to him. And then Rex slips him, I think, like
Yeah.
a $50 bill or something. And then like Oz is like, you see Oz watching this like, yeah, I like this.
That's that dude right there. He one of them ones.
He the one, yo, for real. He the one. And so you see them walking by, and next thing you know, Oz all out of turn. All right, Rex, good seeing you. His brother was like, hey, yo,
Shut your ass up,
shut your
man.
stupid ass up or whatever.
And then the thing I like about it shows the dynamic between him and his older brother. His older brother
Right.
walks up and is like, look, yo,
Mm-hmm.
that ain't no good dude, yo. Like he
Yeah.
was and you know, Oz was like, man, how
Mm-hmm.
much he give you, yo? He said, he gave me 50. He said, he gave you 50? We can do all types of stuff for that $50, yo. That's crazy. Just for doing that, he gave you 50.
You know what
So
callback? You know what callback I got from that?
what's that?
South Central. Thanks, Ray Ray. When he gave him like a $20 bill for stealing they stole car
Tony,
stereo.
Tony, Tony. That's a fat ride, Ray
That's a fat ride, Ray Ray. You
Ray.
know me, I'm gonna be Deuce, Ray Ray. You know.
That is that, yo. I forgot, yo. I unlocked a whole memory with South Central, yo. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Oz was little Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. You OG Bobby
Yeah.
Johnson? Yeah, I'm OG.
Yep. I'm no G.
That's
So
crazy, yo.
so they're like walking around and they're supposed to be going to play or whatever. And it starts raining. And then you see where they go into that little underground abandoned trolley station where the Penguin in present day Oz has the drug operation set up. And Oz is like, they playing, I guess, like excuse me, hide and go seek or whatever.
Yes.
And Oz is it. And the brothers are hiding from him. And then you see he finds that little trolley coin that we saw in the earlier and stuff. And Oz is like, hey, where you guys at? You guys supposed to stay here? And then Oz, and so then they're laughing at him and making fun of him. And Oz feels like, okay, y'all making fun of me and I hear the voices. And then where they got to climb down deeper into the sewer part of the train station, like the overspillage of rain, because it's starting to really pour down outside. And Oz freaks out because he can't really go down the steps because his leg. And he's like, man, screw you guys, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know it. They're like, hey, Oz, man, we sorry, bro. These guys are very compassionate. Like, oh, right, Oz, we sorry. We just messing with you. And what we have learned from Oz from episode 1, that this man takes anything, he takes everything personal. And he takes any sort of slight as you are going to die. This man proceeds to say, F y'all, climbs out of the little run his drain over thing, locks them inside the sewer part. And they're like, hey, yo, Oz, what the hell, man? Help us, man. And he was like, yeah, how about y'all stay down there? And leaves his brother there.
He said, I hope y'all can find your way out. I was like, damn.
When he did that, I said, yo, this nigga killed his brothers, yo.
Yeah. And then when I saw looking, I said, yo, it went from him being like, I'm a killer, to him being like an actual, like a sociopath.
Yep.
And that's and I think to me, like that was one of the more revealing revelations. That's very redundant. One of the bigger revelations with this episode is that not only is he an insecure, sycophantic mama's boy, he's also a sociopath on top of that, with a disability.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like Oz has a lot going on in his, in his psyche and the makeup of that character. And it just like that whole portion of the flashback, and then his getting home. He's at that house. My man on the screen tap dancing, they chilling, him and Ma. And he's just sitting there looking at the rain like
him and Mama all canoodling and cuddled up, and he's smiling. And when he gets home, she's like, hey, where your brothers at? Man, they went to the movies. And she was like, why didn't you go? I wanted to be here with you, Ma. And she was like, oh, that's my Oswald. Come on, we're going to do this. And then she was like, well, what movie they go see? Yeah, Beetlejuice. And when he said it, I was like, this is like 1989, 1988.
Yeah, it's like 88. Yeah. Plus, it's a W property too. Right, and correct. The part 2 just came out, so some brand synergy.
Yeah. And so, he's like canoodling, snuggled up with Mom. They watching the movie. In the meantime, they're doing flashes between that and the actual like door that he sealed with his brothers in the man. They're like, yo, help, we're flooding. Help, we got somebody help. And you hear them like the water gradually, then you start hearing them gurgle. And I'm like, yo, this nigga did what I thought he was gonna do. He killed us.
He killed his brothers.
And then he sat there, snuggled up with his mom with a big old smile on the face. Like, yep, mission accomplished. Got my mom all to myself now without those 2 assholes in his mind.
Yeah, because the crazy thing is, we see how later on how his mom goes in, just like he told his mom into the depression, and the whole scene about him going, she got up, got dressed, he went to dance, and the whole like promise that he made to her about doing, she deserves better, he's gonna give her better, kind of the whole motivation for the character as we see him today. Yeah. And it's just crazy because one, this broken mom places all this pressure on this child, because he's like, he couldn't be no older than like 10, 12 at the most. and essentially all this stress on a fifth or sixth grader, and really wanted him to deliver, which really informs the next scene when we have Sophia and Oz's mom. Is it Francine? What's her
Yep.
name? Oz and
Francine.
Francine talking.
Francis.
And Francis.
Yeah.
Listen close as Francis, the pregnant man says. I'm sorry. Yeah, so
But
so go
before we
ahead.
get into that, just remind the folk that we flash back and Oz goes back home. And remember how accomplished he felt that the councilman got the power back on? He was like, "Thank you, councilman." Gets home,
Oh
sees the
yeah.
house,
Oh yeah.
sees the house is ransacked. Our man Victor looked like he got hit with the one hitter quitter. He is like out cold. And he's like, "Yo, Victor, what's going on?" Victor's like, "Hey, yo, Sophia." He's just like, "Yo, they came. I tried to stop it." And like, I'm surprised Oz didn't kill Victor, but I'm surprised he didn't kill him because that's something that seemed like he would have been like, "You got my mom kidnapped?" Bow, but plot armor, whatever.
Not even that, but like Oz is always trying to think ahead. He's instantly thinking about revenge. Because he's
Yeah.
like, look, go get me my army. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then
Mm-hmm.
and then Oz pulls a what's the girl from Family Matters that went up the stairs and never came back down?
Is that Judy? Is that
Judy.
Judy?
Victor pulled a Judy because he did not he showed back up.
No more.
The rest of the episode, yo, that's the end of Vic. You know what I'm saying?
So by this time, um, Maroni and some people came back to the house, and Oz was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get caught because I need to find out what's going on. You get out of here, get my army together." And Maroni comes in, and Maroni is just having a field day, like kicking the shit out of Oz and them, and then he's about ready to kill him. Another dude that was there was a Gigante. He said, "Yo, chill." She wants him alive, and he's like, "Man, all right, let's go." And then that's when you said the Sophia part. Go ahead, man. That
Yeah.
part was really
Yeah.
good.
So we got Sophia at the house and Francine and she's my Francis. And Francis, and she's making her like breakfast or whatever. And just the display of viciousness and vitriol and I don't care about y'all that Oz's mom has just in general.
That's where
Love
you
it.
get it from.
Her first one was like, yo, when my Oz gets here, he's gonna kill all y'all. Like, and which begs me to ask the question: does she know that Oz killed her sons?
That's what I want to know as well.
I mean, because how does aside from him becoming a gangster and all that, how does she realize that the vicious nature of her son?
Right.
Unless he's just having these like pillow talk conversations with mom, Mr. Oedipus himself. Like it's like how does she know? Because they're talking and and Sophia's like, oh man, really? Well, what's really about? And she's in Sophia because she's done 10 years of therapy the wrong way. She is asking all the right questions and giving her all the triggers. So she's having this back and forth, and Sophia finally gets to the point like, oh, I heard you had some sons. You know what I'm
So the
saying?
hand starts
Yeah,
shaking.
yeah, yeah. What happened to your sons? And then she's having a little breakdown, meltdown, and then she switches back to 89 and was basically recounting a conversation she would have had back then about where my sons has been raining all night. I've been calling to ask the police, ain't nobody helping me. And then she goes to the window, and that whole situation kind of like arises, and then Sophia's like, "Oh, your
Where do you
boys."
think? She said, "Where do you think you at?"
Yeah, like girl, what year is it for you? And then she kind of calms down and she kind of gets close to her to kind of console her. Get your fucking hands off me.
Yeah.
Smack the hell out of Sophia.
She smacked the hell out of Sophia. And the thing is, you saw Sophia henchman like get ready to roll up on her, but Sophia was like, I get it.
It's with okay. With the Kevin Costner from Superman.
Yeah.
Nah, man, that scene was really good. And then of course, Dr. Freaky Deaky himself he gets a call. He said, "Hey, man, Dr. Freaky Deaky, I actually need your help." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, I have a situation." Hold on, Sophia. There's a situation with your niece. She's in the children's place, and she says she wants to talk to the police. I believe that she saw something. If you need me to help you with this situation, I can. I'm like, dog.
Yo, the heavy breathing was killing me. Yo.
You are like Shays. You are too eager to kill this kid. Like she's the only loose end that you have, and I will tie it up in a perfect bow for you, my dom. I'm like, come on, man, calm down.
Relax. That's when you be like, relax, bro.
So she was like, no, but I do have something I need you to do in the other room. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now we see Sophia actually go to the which was a very sad looking domicile of a foster home. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it looked like? That J looked like Arkham for kiddies.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, even when she went in, she had like the little like quick flash of her, like, getting the crazy lady and her being in Arkham and all that. Because she was like, "Oh, I don't know about this." So she goes in the room. Little kid was like, "I don't know about you either." And she basically tries to persuade her to say, "Hey, man, I ain't kill your people, y'all. You got and then tries to basically. It's funny because
what the little girl said though.
What's she say?
Remember what she said? She says,
"I saw something.
I saw you with a mask on." And she was like, Sophia was like, "Is this something that you just made up?" You know, she's
gaslighting her the whole time. And the funny thing to me was, she said, "Look, you have a chance to create what you want when you're gonna get out of here. You're gonna have a beautiful new family, and you can create the life that you want. If you were still with the old family,
she basically." And then she says, "Your mother and your father, they weren't good people and they deserve what they got." I said, "Yo, Sophia is out of control, yo. Like, I get it. But God dang.
She does not care."
Because remember, she noticed too that her niece was starting to cut herself.
Yeah.
Kind of just like how she was.
Her, yeah.
And she was like, "Look here, the family was trash. I'm giving you a chance to start over with a new family that's going to really care and love about you, and you ain't got to remember this or worry about this no more." And then she just walks out and started crying.
Yeah, because she knew like half of it was a lie, but half of it was kind of true. You feel me? Because to be honest, she is the girl and the girl is her. So it depends on, like, let's say we really had like a continuation of this, but I think it's gonna be a one and done. Like we could really see like how the girl develops into, like, she could actually be like that, like the real hangman. But it's that juxtaposition of the generations of that family having to make amends with what happened. It was that was like probably one of the more sadder scenes of the entire series for me, because Sophia comes out, has a breakdown, starts acting like she's like, feel like she's like, being choked, as it was alluded to. I mean, as Dr. Freaky Deaky alluded to later on in the next scene, because that's what the whole thing is. You feel like her dad is choking her. Well, that's what he surmised anyway from when he used therapy.
Your dad is not choking you, but I would like
to. But you can choke me.
Right.
He said, "I don't like no whips and chains, but you can tie me down." Whip your loving on me, right, baby. I'm vanilla, baby. I choke your ass, don't kill a baby. I hate that song.
Oh boy. So
Oh, Dr. Freaky Deaky. All right. And then
so next
he's actually
go
probing,
ahead.
let's get all right. Like, he actually probing
Yeah.
using the same red light treatment and all that for Sophia. And she's like,
Uh-huh.
man, never mind this nonsense. Get out of here. And
Yeah.
they had a conversation, and because she was struggling. So, but yeah, that whole thing for me, like the beginning of this episode was
Mm-hmm.
very strong.
Yeah.
I had to put my biases to the side. I'm be honest, because I hate a little kid flashback.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it, yo.
But this was good.
But it was good, you know what I'm saying? And it made me think about some of the better little kid flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You know a movie who did that really, really well? It's, I think, the best ever?
Who's that?
The Wood.
Oh, you talking the movie with my you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, like Tay Diggs, that Thomas Jones, I think.
Yeah.
The other
Omar
Negro.
Epps.
Yeah, Omar Epps.
The other
And
Negro.
yeah. I think they did it like the best
Yeah.
because the current day and the past characters were just as strong. It wasn't like, you go to the kids and they suck. No, it was good. All right, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
So now we get to Salvatore Maroni drags Oz back to his home base where they're making the bliss and throws him down in front of his whole crew. And it's like, and some of his crew members got shot in the process, about 2 or 3. And he's like, yeah, he ain't in charge no more. Y'all now work for the Gigante Maroni crime family. And he says, you have a decision to make. And you see that, shout out to Oz's guys. They stood on business like, yo, we don't effing work for you. We work for him. And then he was like, they were about to pull their pieces out. And then Maroni's folk didn't. He said, whoa, relax. I understand that this is something that you're just going to have to deal with or just get used to. So I'm going to give y'all a chance to think it over a little bit and make it happen. And so Oz goes to doing what he does best, running that mouth, gaslighting people, and saying sometimes the right thing and the wrong thing. This man proceeds to tell Maroni, the one thing I will never forget is the smell of, the human flesh, the fat. The hair is what surprised me the most. And then he says, hey man, did your wife use some type of chemical in her hair or something? Because she went up just like a crisp, like Maroni snapped, pulled that gun out, and was getting ready to pop him. And in the process, what happens? Maroni's Gigante's man says, no, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. This is not what she want. But Oz is still gaslighting Maroni. And then next thing you know, Oz's guy that's working on the power in the tunnel, he snatches something to shut the power off. And all of Oz's guys basically starts to shoot. And they start to kill Salvatore's men. In the meantime, Oz is trying to get away. Salvatore catches up with him. And they basically square up and have a rumble. And they fighting. And in the process of them fighting, it's like Oz was getting the upper hand. Then Maroni got the upper hand. Oz got the upper hand. Then Maroni got the upper hand again. And he started really beating up on Oz. And I said, dang, Oz getting his tail kicked by this old man. And then what finally happens? Possibly one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my life in a situation. Maroni was beating Oz up so bad that he suffered a heart attack. Once again, he was beating Oz up. He was beating Oz up so bad, he suffered a heart attack from beating Oz up. And like I said, because the fight was going back and forth, and then he started beating him up. this one thing I don't understand. I'll say this: this penguin I like as far as Oz. He got hands because in other variations, Oz
Yeah,
ain't really
he got flappers. You know what I'm saying?
right, but he got hands. He's actually throwing them things and fighting. But
Also
he's
about Maroni, I like, and this is what I appreciate this show and the showrunner. I forgot who the showrunner of the show is, but the way they wrote the show is like every little thing pays off because we see Maroni at the beginning of the series when it goes to Blackstone, is it
Blackgate.
Blackgate? When they go to Blackgate, you see him with his medicine and taking his medicine before he go out there. He was drinking from that nasty sink water in his in his cell. So there's precedent for everything that happens, and that's like and that's the makings of a well-written show.
Mm-hmm. So he starts to have a heart attack from beating up Oz, and Oz is like, "Oh, don't you do? You're supposed to be beating." Like Oz is like, you know what Oz is doing at that point? Man, hold me back. You lucky man, hold me back, bro. After he's like, man, you supposed to be whipping my tail, blah 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 blah, this and that, and then like before Maroni fully like strokes or heart attacks out, he says, look at me. I beat you. I got you." And when he kept saying, "I got you," I kept thinking of in the movie The Batman, when Batman was chasing him in the car. He was like, "I got you. I got you." And then Batman came out to the flames. He was like, "Oh, snap." But he kept saying, "I got you. I got you.
That
I
is a
got you."
good call, Tony. It's a good callback, man. That is good. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So after this, he throws him out the little area they was fighting.
and don't forget he shot him like 10 times for a reason.
Oh yeah, after he shot him, he shot him for good measure. Like, you know what? Take that. So he goes and he throws his body out and he tells his guys, "Hey, y'all my soldiers, a war coming. I need y'all." And he was like, "It's about to be big or whatever." And so when that happens and the stuff with Sophia is going on, she calls Salvatore's phone. And Oz answers is like, "No, it's me, baby."
It's your boy Oswald.
Did you see her face? She was like, "This." She was like, "This motherfucker got 9 lives."
He won't die.
So Oz sets her up. "Look here, man. I just want my mama back. You want this? You can have it. You can have the bliss. You can have the operations. I just want my mom back. That's all I want is my mom back." And so that's when Sophia had met with Dr. Freaky Dick.
Dr. Freaky Deaky himself.
Oz want to do this. You know this is a trap, this and that. And she says, "I know it's a trap, but I am tired of living and doing things that my father would want me to do." She says, "So I got something planned." So back at the scene of the, the little home base, Oz and the boys are set. Oz says, "Look, hide, keep your fingers off the trigger until I say so." A car pulls in. Oz is like, "Yo, what's up? Come on, get it. It's right here. This is what you want." And then the phone ring and it's Sophia. Sophia's like, he's like, "Hey, what games you want to play?" And she goes onto this monologue about, just life in general and about what she's been through and she basically in a nutshell is saying that she figured this dude out. And the guy who drove the truck in, he gets out and runs. And Oz is like, "Where you running?" And she's talking to Oz and like, "I got you and I'm gonna hurt you. And you're gonna feel the hurt I feel." And Oz, you can tell he's nervous. He looks in the back of the trunk and he's thinking his mother is under these bloody looking sheets. He lifts them sheets up. It is a bomb. And there are like 19 seconds left.
Sophia says, "Hey, you still got time to get out. If you make it out, come and meet me at the theater." which is
Yeah.
the same theater that him and his mom
Right.
went to. You know what I'm
Pause.
saying?
Once again, let's go back to how trash Oz is. Instead of saying, it's a bomb, guys, get out.
He
It's a bomb,
runs.
guys, get out. He hauls tail. His guys are like, hey, Oz, what is it? What is it? And then they see the bomb, and it proceeds to have the biggest explosion underground. Yo, it is the ground that they show like an aerial level of the street it happened on. You saw the street go up and then sink back down. Oz was able to get into like a little cavern, a
The
little
same
corner.
place where the same place where his brother's death was his salvation.
Right.
And that is the type of writing that gets me every time. You know what I'm saying? It's so apropos. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
And so it ends with you seeing Sophia taking Francis into the theater. There's a flashback that shows the scene that Oz explained to Sophia earlier on, a couple episodes on, about his mom just came out dressed up one day and said, hey, let's go out. And they all went to the club. And then you see present day, it's like rubble, it's mayhem. Crown Point gets, terror stays on Crown Point's neck, between the flood and this, you see people running around. I see somebody he think is Vic. He's like, Vic. And then we see that corrupt cop. And he's like, Oswald. No, he says, Penguin. Oz said, what you call booger? Hit him upside the head with like a club or something. Knocked him out. He's like, yeah, Sophia. Sophia says we got a meeting. Fade to black in the episode. Next week will be the finale.
Yeah, and for this episode is only like 45 minutes long. So like, it was quick.
I felt it, but I didn't feel it too at the same time.
No,
like
it was
like it went by fast,
yeah.
but it was a good one.
Yeah, like my initial reaction was like, I feel like this is probably like the second weakest episode of the season. But again, in succession as a whole, still good storytelling, man. Like it's like, again, my biases is to the kids stuff and the flashback stuff. But other than that, man, like the narratively, I even said this last night. I was like, narratively, I understand why they did it. So we can kind of tie these things together, also reveal motivations of characters, and knowing that next episode is the last episode, we're not gonna have on time to do it then, especially if it don't need to be explaining stuff. We got to just resolve, because we are heading quickly towards the denouement, as they say in the French, or the resolution of this entire thing.
So once again, like I said, this show has not given a bad episode per se yet. It's like each episode has a purpose, and the purposes have been good. And Rashad, I can't wait the next week finale, for real. I really can't wait to see how we're gonna wrap this up with a bow. And then this is supposed to lead into the sequel to Batman.
2 weeks. 2 weeks later is what they said, and it's gonna be right around December, man. It's gonna be right around Christmas.
And by the way, I love the fact that there has nothing been leaked out about what the plot of the second Black Man
not at all, yo. Not at all. It's been very quiet. They're just gonna, that comes out next year or 2026.
I think next year.
Yeah, it's been real quiet on that end. You know why? Because everybody's so focused on what James Gunn about to do. People leaving. What's your boy name who wrote that? Leaving Matt. Damn, what's that man's name? They leaving him alone, basically. so that he can just run and write his film. That is Matt Reeves. That comes out 2026.
Yeah.
So 10/2/2026. We got about a little less than 2 years on that. But yeah, I really don't like. I wish it wasn't so spaced out. But yeah, it's gonna be good though.
Well, it would have been great if this was coming out. They did the finale, and then the Batman came out like the following week. in the theaters
Yeah.
or whatever. That would have been great. But
We
hey,
can blame the
writer
strikes for
strike.
this and the actor
Yeah,
strike, yeah. But
no,
they
that
gotta get their
sucks.
money, I understand. But
Mhm.
nah, man, like I don't have no idea how this is gonna end. I have no real predictions. It's just been a very enjoyable time of watching television. And if you love watching television, Doom Prophecy is next, and we're gonna be doing that too. I'm just saying, man, like this has probably been one of the stronger years for television that we've had in a while. Because last year was it was very okay. You know what I'm saying? This has been a very strong year for TV streaming. And what's your boy from Wolf of Wall Street say about something don't stop?
No, show don't stop. Keeps going.
Yeah, man. He ain't lying, yo. Like
Yeah,
they really they are yeah.
yeah.
Next week, finale, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We back here 7 p.m. Unless something else pops up between then, we'll
Mm-hmm.
hit y'all up. But yeah,
Indeed.
all the socials, man. Y'all know where we at. Till next
Peace.
time.